Good evening. I'm gonna work on this Ibanez in this video. I'm gonna lower the action on this thing because it is really high. That's about 3 or 4 quarters high. 3 or 4 quarters stacked high above the 12th fret, pretty much. That is some killer action. It's really high. So I'm going to go ahead and lower the action on this. If this guitar looks familiar to you, it's an Ibanez I picked up several months back that I was going to sell in my shop, but I fell in love with. This was the Orphan Special. I was keeping an eye on it here. It's kind of like a little seam, like it's pulling against the seam, but it's not. It's actually just the way it looks, but the neck actually seems okay. And I checked the framework in here, and the bracing is okay too. There's no seams, don't seem to be nothing wrong structurally. So there's not a problem with this lifting up, but I think my main problem is the saddle is still too high. So I'm thinking I might sand that down a little bit more, and I'm gonna check the truss rod and see if it works, because I want to make sure it works the way it's supposed to. I'm gonna keep strings on it. I'm gonna drop the action down. I mean, I ain't looking for really low, but it's a workout to get these strings to mash down to the fretboard. So yeah, and it's really warm in here, so I'm fixing to turn the fan on, so we might have a little bit of a audio problem, and I apologize for that. But it's either that or I roast to death, and I ain't choosing the second part. And I'm gonna keep the strings attached to it while I do this. I don't know where Grandma's paddle went to, so I had to get the next best thing. This 10-foot long board, and I'm gonna see what it looks like with the string tension on it. If I can though, it might not rest all the way down, and it's not. We'll do that, huh? Yeah. Dadgummit. See what we got going on here. But I tell you what I could use this board for. If I had a smaller board. That was just a little bit too long. Alright, I figured I'd start here first with the saddle. Trim it down. I marked it while it was still sitting in the guitar, just to see how deep this was sitting down in there. Now I'm going to use a sander, but I'm not going to sand off too much. I want to kind of stay within this blue line. I'm thinking I'm going to try to go within, like, make at least halfway through this blue line. Probably be about low enough. I broke a string trying to get them off, so I'm going to try to dig around. Hopefully I got a set of strings somewhere. But I'm going to keep the old one on, especially this G string, since it's kind of center. And I'm kind of use it as a tester string to see just where the height is as I keep sanding this down. Luckily, I have the proper tools this time, and it probably won't take me near as long as it's used to. So, yeah, let me get the sanding on this. Bring y'all in here where y'all can look with me. It's getting pretty low. I think I'm gonna bite just a little bit more off of it and do it again. Come on back. Alright, so I think sanding it down actually worked. Just a saddle, just sanding it down was the easiest way to go, because it's definitely a huge difference in what it was before. And I get, when I do hammer-ons, when I'm hammer on the strings, it's almost like I'm playing on a piano. So, I don't want to take up too much more of your time. Thank you so much for clicking on. So yeah, if you have a string height issue on these acoustic guitars, it's one of two things. check your neck straightness. You could have a curve in the neck, a bow in it. And if you straighten the neck and you still get that action too high, I always come back here to this saddle. It might be up too daggum high. Now, just mark it where I had it sitting here, and just shave off a little bit at a time. Don't get too whole hog on it, and just remove a whole lot of thing, because at that point, if you get it too much, then it'll be too daggum low. But you gotta have some sort of saddle sticking up. If you do that, and you don't have a replacement saddle on hand, you can always shim it underneath it to raise it back up. But then, you know, it kind of messes with the quality of sound that you would be getting if you didn't shim it. But I'm happy with the way it is now. As a matter of fact, I don't know if you've ever seen this inside a guitar. Let me kind of see that string over. Let's just take a gander in there. Isn't that cool? The bracing is just in great shape. That's still the back end of it. It's a really nice guitar. This was the Orphan. The guy, I don't know, he had this thing set up in his closet somewhere or something. It was probably a parts guitar. But I'm gonna go fish around now and see if I can find me another set of strings. I was gonna hang on to these on here, but when I went to release this string, it snapped. So I won't be reusing the strings after all. So I'll go ahead and give me another set on there if I have it. So thank you so much for clicking on. Be sure to hit the subscribe button, hit the bell for new video notifications, because I don't know if you're getting my videos. That'll help out with that. And hit that like button. That does something as well. Look forward to seeing y'all again. Goodbye now.